So what do you think of the spring?
This was so pretty. This was well worth it. This is probably my favorite thing so far.
So we came here to the Geyser Basin, and we found that if you go up the road a little bit further, you can park and do a little bit of a hike. I think it's called Fairy Falls hike, I'm not sure. But you have an overview down to the Grand Prismatic Springs.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, we didn't know that, so we're gonna go there next. It's crazy to think that all this is because we're standing on top of the world's largest super volcano.
The pictures just don't do it justice. It's so pretty and so blue. It sure smells like eggs are boiling.
Yeah, when that steam hits you in the face, that stinks.
Yeah, it definitely takes you out.
It even makes it a little bit harder to breathe because it's such warm air that just stinks.
Yeah, but it's still well worth it.
You guys like my new hat? Got it when I was in Estes Park. Stephanie said it makes me look like a park ranger, which I just kind of laugh at.
We're waiting for Old Faithful to erupt right now.
We didn't think we were gonna get a parking spot.
Yeah, we had to circle a lot to get to this spot.
Yeah, we got here about 10 minutes before scheduled eruption time. So definitely get here at least an hour early because every spot is full.
Yeah, we learned that the hard way. That lasted long, and now they're all disappearing.
What'd you think of Old Faithful?
That was so cool. I loved it.
I can't believe how many people like just leave halfway through because they're like not impressed.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that was exciting. Moving on.
Yeah.
Which I'm like that too, but I thought it was actually really cool.
Definitely a must do. All right, time to go to the Yellowstone Visitor Center, get our stamp, and get our next patch. I get so excited for these things. Did it upside down.
Way to go. You had one job.
We're on our way to Daisy Geyser because it's the next one to explode. What do they call it?
Erupt.
Erupt, not explode. If you come here, definitely bring your walking shoes, maybe even a walking stick. There's tons of trails where you can even bike ride to all the different geysers.
This is definitely an all-day affair.
Yep, and it is handicap accessible. One more tip is that Yellowstone is enormous. So be prepared to do a lot of driving and spending a lot of time in the car and looking for parking. You also always know when a geyser is going to erupt because there's huge crowds of people around. Oh, and we just saw somebody get engaged. I thought Grand Geyser was better than Old Faithful.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that.
Lasted a lot longer and went a lot higher. It's the tallest and longest geyser here in Yellowstone, which you would think is Old Faithful if you weren't, if you were just coming in to visit for your first time like we were, and we thought it was. We got our 7th patch for our 7th national park. Looks pretty good to me. So yesterday we did 2 of the big boys. We did Grand Prismatic and we did Old Faithful.
The big boys.
That's what I'm gonna call them. And today, because we're coming in from the south entrance, we're gonna go do West Thumb. And then we're also going to do a bunch of like the pull-off hikes on the side of the road. We saw a waterfall and a few other cool things. And we haven't been over to the West Thumb area, so we'll see what cool things are over there. But I know Tiffany's excited. She was really blown away by the geysers yesterday.
Yeah, they were really cool.
And the springs, just how blue and the colors. It's really cool. Like, pictures just don't do it justice. It's June 10th and there's still tons of snow on the ground. It's 58 degrees out, it's a high of 73 today. You know, being from the east, I never thought there would still be snow on some of these trails. Well, we're not even that high of elevation. It's only like 5,600 feet here.
It feels amazing outside.
It does. Look at that view. Just got to West Thumb Geyser Basin. To be honest, I don't think either one of us has ever heard of it before. But there's a giant parking lot, so I'm sure we're gonna be surprised.
And we actually got parking for once in our lives.
Yeah, it's pretty dead here compared to yesterday.
I'll take it. Holy moly, those are big.
Look at that. Within less than 3 minutes, we saw a rabbit, some type of special rabbit though, I forget what it was.
Yeah, with some beastly back legs.
And then an elk and a calf.
Yes. And I got my binoculars to help me spot it out. I can smell those eggs again.
Yep, smell the sulfur. Look at this one.
It's like a miniature volcano.
This one might be the bluest one. Just think about that. For that water to boil, water boils at 212 degrees. That's how hot that is.
It pretty much would melt and disappear.
And it's just naturally happening from the magma underneath the ground here.
That's crazy.
Best time of the day, feeding time. Tiffany made lettuce wraps.
Where y'all from?
We're from Pennsylvania.
Where?
Hershey?
Oh, Hershey, like the chocolate bar.
Yeah. How about you?
West Virginia.
West Virginia? Okay.
Charleston.
Okay. We drove through there. Yeah, we travel full time in our RV.
Oh, I don't like you anymore.
Yeah. So we just got done eating and we met the nicest people
We did.
from West Virginia. I cannot remember the guy's name already. I apologize, but his granddaughter was Kendall. And if you guys are watching, really appreciated meeting you guys. Great talk.
It's always fun to meet different people along the way.
Yeah.
And hearing their stories as they're trying to understand our story.
Yep, I hope you guys had a great vacation. Yeah, that's one of the best parts about being on the road is just meeting people. You know, everybody's going through something and they're coming out to escape in the outdoors. So we just broke down camp. We're heading down to our next campground on the other side of Yellowstone. And it's been downpouring all morning. And I hate breaking down camp in the pouring rain.
And it's muddy.
Yeah, we're
Disgusting. We're
absolutely
soaking wet.
drenched. Yeah.
Good times.
Not fun, not fun. But what are you gonna do? You know, off to another beautiful place. I'm excited. But yeah, I just have to
It's supposed
say,
to be warm weather coming up finally.
yeah, first time in I think the 90s they're calling for this coming Friday. So we'll see what happens. But of course tomorrow's high is I think 49
Yeah.
or 50 degrees. Always something in the mountains.
He's like, oh, he's just straight up peeing.
So 2 good pieces of news when we got to our campsite today. One, we thought it was 15 amp only, but it's actually 30 amp. And then also we got here and got everything set up and then it started raining. So thank goodness we didn't have to set everything up in the pouring rain after just breaking down everything in the pouring rain. But it's an awesome campground here. Wapiti Campground, just outside of Cody, just east of Yellowstone. I think it's 15 or 20 bucks a night, which is pretty good. Right now we don't have cell phone service. I didn't get a chance to put up the antenna yet to see if it helps out. But we're about to head out to Walmart, stock up our groceries, and then probably just chillax the rest of the night, work on some videos.
We just got a knock on the door at 5 a.m. saying to get out now before we get flooded, and look at this mess. The whole campground is under. We were the last ones to get out, and we literally made it just in time. Look how deep we are getting. And that's within seconds that we got destroyed here. It's insane how quick the water has come up, and I'm so thankful they woke us up in time, or we would have been in a big situation. There isn't many options at all for campgrounds. We're going towards Yellowstone. We're pretty much all going to be under in campgrounds, so our only options going into Cody, and everybody's going to be leaving the campground, so who knows if we'll be able to get a spot, but we'll keep you updated. There goes our campground. The whole thing is going under.
The night before the flood, we drove through Yellowstone from our place in Teton, and we went from the south entrance all the way over to the east entrance. And you didn't really notice anything with the water. I mean, it was raining lightly throughout that time frame, which is like up to about 2 p.m.
You could definitely tell the water was very high.
Right, the water was high, it was rushing through, but it wasn't really that close to our campground. So we took a walk around our campground, and the water was definitely rushing. There was a river maybe about 400 to 500 yards from our site.
We walked over the bridge, and you could just see the night before, see all these trees rushing down.
But we were still like okay. And then I guess that night, overnight, we had about 2 inches of rain in like 45 minutes, and then plus it just rained hard all night long. So then that morning, the morning of the flood, at like 4 o'clock or like 3:45 in the morning, we got a knock on the door from our camp host telling us we have to evacuate. So I immediately get dressed. Tiffany's inside starting to work on the inside, but as soon as I go outside, I can see that the water's like, I don't know, maybe 300 feet away from our doorstep.
Now, when they first told us, they said it was about like 5 campsites over. By the time that I would say 5 minutes, by the time that we actually went outside, it was at our neighbors.
Yeah, so
it was going fast.
I mean, there's no joke when they say floods happen quickly, water rises fast. We had to wait for our neighbor to go out because it was a one-way loop campground, and of course the one-way was flooded, so we had to go opposite of the way we were supposed to go. We normally would have just went easily off to the left, but we had to go really hard turn to the right. You know, we're 55 foot long when the trailer and the truck are connected, so it's no easy task. So we had to go in and out. But as we're hitching up, of course the water starts rushing in over the site. As we're pulling out of the site, the water was like halfway up my calf, maybe even to my knee. Probably the most hectic thing I've ever done in my life. It definitely wasn't as bad as the people in Gardner, nothing to take away from them.
No.
But we're just giving our experience of what happened.
Especially when you have to wake up really early, and then you have to get into, crap, we gotta get out ASAP.
Yeah, you kind of just
Your mind's not in it.
You kind of just go into fight mode or survival mode and just quickly just have to do every simple thing very fast. And again, you know, it was a crazy experience. You know, we still believe everything happens for a reason, because after that we just moved over closer to Cody, Wyoming, and we had a great time there. We never would have went there. And
honestly, we were making comments the day before saying, oh man, we wish we were staying in this area, and would you know,
yep.
we were there the next day.
Yeah, we're just glad we're safe, and we're praying for anybody who was affected heavily
yes.
by the floods. Who would have thought?
Right.
Get flooded out earlier this week, and now we're going to the rodeo.
At least doing something fun.
Yeah.
Are you excited, Dylan?
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna ride the bull?
Nah, that's a big bull, that's for sure.
2, 3. You ask me why we stand today? Because we love the USA.
forgot to record a what did we think of the rodeo after we went to the rodeo earlier this week. And right now we're going to tell you what we thought because we're actually on our way back to the rodeo. That's how much we loved it.
It was definitely a shock that we loved it so much that we would spend money again to go see it all over again.
Being from the East Coast, really had no idea what to expect going to the rodeo. I mean, we are in Cody, the self-proclaimed cowboy capital of the world. So I had not super high expectations, but you know, expected to be entertained, but it was a blast.
Yeah, there's people from all over that are there to compete, and I don't know if they do weekly or if they do daily.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it was a lot of fun.
During the summer, June, July, and August, they do a nightly show at 8 p.m. It usually runs about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I think it's $22 or $24 a person for an adult.
Yeah.
So it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but again, that just goes to show, two cheapskates, how much fun we actually had doing it. So
yeah, it was probably one of our favorite highlights of this trip. It was just a lot of fun, and it was funny. They had comedy the whole entire time.
Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's just a good time, that's for sure. We're on our way back there now. We're not going to do any filming this time because we did a bunch of filming last time, but man, it was just a good time. If you're in Cody, or if you're even within the northwestern Wyoming area, you have to go. Even southern or southwestern Montana area, I would still say come down here to go because it was that much fun.
Did have lots of people telling us that we had to go see this.
And they were right.
Yep.
And so are we. You must go. The entrance to the stadium opens at 7 p.m. and there's probably, right now it's what, 7 p.m. dead on, and there's probably already 50 cars in the parking lot with a line at the ticket office. Definitely a fun time. Current situation, it's downpouring outside. I had the honors of going first and taking the dogs out and got absolutely drenched.
And I forgot my rain jacket in the car, so here I am.
Yep, look at Tiffany.
This is my new wardrobe.
She's wearing my jacket, just a little large on her.
Yeah, not the least bit.
Good luck out there.
Yeah, good time.
Right now we're doing the old dump and pump. We're dumping everything and filling up water. It's been really nice here. If you ever get a chance, North Fork Campground, Buffalo Bill State Park, near Cody, Wyoming. It's just east of the Yellowstone entrance. We came here because we got evacuated, obviously. Our next campground's actually only 5 miles down the road. I got that.
Of course.